So the women over on The View were squawking this week about free speech, and I want to go through a couple of these clips. First of all, here's Whoopi Goldberg announcing, tragically, that she's leaving Twitter.
It has been a little over a week since Elon Musk took over Twitter, and the place it's a mess. He's already called back some of the workforce he fired a few days ago. He's putting his $8 charge for blue check verification on hold. First it was going to be $20, now it's going to be $8. He also suspended Kathy Griffin for impersonating him on a parody account, which has started a free Kathy hashtag to trend. I mean, I'm getting off. I'm getting off today because I just feel like, you know, it's so messy, and I'm tired of now having had certain kinds of attitudes blocked, and now they're back on. And I'm going to get out, and if it settles down and I feel more comfortable, maybe I'll come back. But as of tonight, I'm done with Twitter.
Of course, if you're like me, you hear that and you think, oh, you were on Twitter? I didn't even know that. Like, what are they? I just want to know, if I get in their own head, get in their heads, which is not really a place I'd want to be, but well, how do you think people are going to react to this? Do you think people you're making some big dramatic announcement? I'm done. You know, I might be back later, but for now, I'm out of there. Which, by the way, when it comes to dramatic announcements, that's kind of an anticlimactic way to go about it. I'm done. I mean, I might come back later, but I'm done for now. I will not be on Twitter again until at least tomorrow morning, if not a little bit sooner. But at this moment right now, I am not using Twitter at this moment while I'm on TV. But what do they expect? Do they think that people are going to, like, the people that think it's good that Elon Musk took over Twitter, are they going to say, well, never mind. I mean, if this scares Whoopi Goldberg away, I can't imagine Twitter without Whoopi Goldberg. And then you also see, once again, just the total, absolute fragility of these people. She says, oh, all these people I was insulated from them. And now their ideas are going to be, I'm going to maybe be exposed to some of their ideas and opinions and their words. And I can't deal with that. Does it make sense that the same company who controls half of online retail also eavesdrops on your private conversations at home? Or that the company that controls 90% of all internet searches also runs your email service and tracks everything you do on your smartphone? Big tech is more powerful than most countries these days, and they profit by exploiting your personal data. Put a layer of protection between your online activity and big tech with ExpressVPN. Think about how much of your life is on the internet. Every site you visit, video you watch, message you send gets tracked and data mined. But when you run ExpressVPN on your device, the software hides your IP address, making your activity a lot more difficult to trace. ExpressVPN also encrypts 100% of your internet data to keep you safe from hackers and eavesdroppers. What I like most about ExpressVPN is how easy it is to use. Download the app on your phone or computer, tap one button, and you're protected. ExpressVPN does all of this without slowing your connection. Stop handing over your personal data to the big tech monopoly who mines your activity and sells your information. Protect yourself with the VPN that I trust to keep me safe online. Visit expressvpn.com/Matt Walsh Show and get 3 extra months for free. That's expressvpn.com/Matt Walsh Show. expressvpn.com/Matt Walsh Show. She also has some thoughts on the nature of free speech. I think this is in clip 6.
Communications Act, which basically allows this to happen. I think it's Section 230. It allows, protection of social media as
under
just platforms.
Under the freedom.
Well, they just say that they're third-party platforms. They're not the ones that are putting it out there. And that can only change by legislation. And if the Republicans rule the Senate,
Section 230 is a little fraught, though it's a bit challenging because if you treat it like a publication, then that means they're liable for any crazy thing someone posts. Which
it is a publication.
There is a way to craft
There's a way to craft it.
They keep saying that it's free speech, and some speech is not all speech is not free speech. Some speech is not okay free speech. So everybody has to agree on that. But if people keep saying, well, you heard my free speech, it's going to be a problem. But you know what? This is our problem. But it ain't my problem today because I'm out.
Some speech is not okay free speech. That's it. So there's been this debate for centuries, really, about free speech. What is free speech? What counts as free speech? And is free speech absolute? And Whoopi Goldberg has, I guess, settled the debate entirely. She says that, some speech is just not okay. And how do we know if it's not okay or not? I guess she'll tell us. Meanwhile, although this maybe has been a debate, I've never found the debate all that interesting, because to me, now they're always around the margins. There are always going to be the harder kind of cases. But for the most part, when you, like 99.9% of all the speech that goes on, it's really easy to determine whether it, quote, counts as free speech or whether it ought to count as free speech or not. Okay? And the things that shouldn't count as free speech, generally speaking, if you're making direct violent threats against someone, actual threats, and using a pronoun you don't like, that's not a threat. Disagreeing with you is not a threat. Saying something like, I'm going to come to your house and kill you, like saying the things that trans activists say to me almost every day, that's a threat. That's clearly a threat. So that's not free speech, at least it shouldn't be. Trying to explicitly encourage other people to cause harm to someone or to commit a crime, again, that clearly shouldn't count as free speech. Defamation, right? Slander, libel, any form of speech, written or spoken, where you're lying about someone in order to cause them harm, not free speech. And those are pretty much all the exceptions. You might be able to come up with a few here and there, but you know what the exceptions are when you see them. It's pretty rare when you come across an actual hard case of trying to determine, does that qualify as free speech or not? Because again, I think 99.9% of it we all know. And most of the speech that goes on social media, people might be vulgar, they might be, they might be cruel, they might be rude, but they're essentially just expressing their opinion. And if you're expressing your opinion, that's free speech, and that ought to be allowed on social media. It ought to be allowed on Twitter. If Twitter is saying, if Twitter is saying that if Elon Musk is saying there's a commitment to free speech, if that's what he's saying, that's what he wants to run his company, then that means that people should be able to simply just express their ideas and their opinions, and that's it. And if you don't like what someone says, you can disagree with them. You can even block them. There's you can choose not to read it. There are a lot of ways around it. But to me, it's not all that difficult. Let people speak. Let them voice their opinions. That's it. That's all. And that'll do it for this portion of the show. As we move over to the members block, hope to see you there. If not, talk to you tomorrow. Godspeed.